Hey guys, I'm Jada. I'm gonna be doing vlogs, pranks, and story time. So this is my first video. If you like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Okay, so my first story is gonna be about this time that I dated a rapper. I'm not gonna use the people in the story's real name, but okay, so it was me and my best friend. Let's call her A. Me and my best friend and my mom, we were going out to eat to a Chinese buffet. We were 16 years old, me and my best friend. Um, so we were going out to eat with my mom in a Chinese buffet. And we walked past this guy. I think we were 16. I think he was like maybe 19. I think he was I think he was like 19. And we see this guy walking up with two girls beside him. So me and my best friend, we froze. Because when we looked at him, first of all, he looked like a celebrity. He wasn't even no type of celebrity yet. But he looked like a celebrity. He had brown eyes, no, light hazel eyes, not even brown, light hazel eyes, temples, big juicy lips. His build, he had a six pack and everything. Like, he had, if I could describe my type to a T, he was it. So me and my best friend was frozen. Like, we couldn't say nothing. We was just looking at him like, who in the world is this? So we're going inside the restaurant, and then my mom says, "Hey," to the guy, and we're looking at my mom like, "Hey, what you mean?" And he came. No, we sat down. We sat down at the table first. We sat down at the table. We seen him. He went to go sit down. He was with two girls, like two of the girls, and the waitress came up to him, and the waitress was trying to get his number. Like, the waitress was seeing him with the two girls and still trying to shoot her shot. So I don't know what happened. We started eating, me and my best friend and my mother. He got up, came to our table, and said, "Hey." It turns out that he knew my mother, and he was like, "Hey," and then my mother was like, "Hey, this is my daughter, so and so, and this is her friend, so and so." And he looks at me and he says, "How you doing?" I had no words. I was stuck. Because I don't call men beautiful, but he was just beautiful to me. I couldn't say, I was stuck. So I'm staring at him, and he's like, "Hey," he reached his hand out, and I'm still staring. I ain't shake his hand, nothing. I'm still staring, looking dumb. So he's like, "It's not polite to stare and not say nothing." And then I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, how you doing? I'm Jada." And my best friend says her name. And we shake his hand, and then he just goes on about his business. Go sit down with the two girls he was with. And the waitress is still trying to get his number, and they wind up leaving. And that's why I asked my mom, "How you know? How you know who is he? Like, how you know him?" She's like, "Oh, he grew up around the block. I know him." All this type of stuff. I was like, I never seen him. So I just thought that was it, right? Couple years later, right? I'll say about 2, 3 years later, I come to my mom's house, and then I'll talk to my sister, and my sister's like, "Oh," and she's my younger sister. She's about like 4 years younger than me, 3 years younger than me. She's like, "Oh, I saw this guy. Mommy was talking to this guy. He was so cute." And mommy gave me his number because he had a modeling company. Mommy gave me his number because he wanted to do modeling, and I was like, wait a minute, that sounds like the guy that I saw. What's his name? When she said his name, I knew she was talking about the same person I was talking about. She was like, well, I got his number here, and I snatched it from her, like, give me his number, like, because first of all, she was way too young for him. And I was like, give me his number. So I took his number, right? I couldn't do it. I was too scared to text him or anything. I didn't know what to say. Like, I didn't know what to say. So I gave my sister the number, and I asked her, like, text him saying that my sister saw you a little while back and she want to talk to you. So she does that. She texts him and says all that. And he texts her, what does she look like? And, you know, she's describing me and stuff like that. And he's all like, all right, send me a picture of her. Oh, give her my number and then send me a picture of her. So I sent him a picture of her. I sent him a picture of me. Yeah, excuse me. I sent him a picture of me, and he didn't respond right away. So I was like, oh, maybe he not attracted to me. Maybe he don't like how I look and stuff like that. So then he was like, let me get another picture. So I sent him another picture. And then he was like, okay, but so you want to go out or something? I said, yeah, I would love to go out. So fast forward, we text like from here and there, but he didn't really text because he was busy. Like, he was an up and coming artist and stuff. He has modeling agency and all that type of stuff. And so every time we were supposed to go out on a date, it just wouldn't happen because either he was in the studio or running his company. And I'm like, I'm never going to get to see this guy. And when I said I was hooked on him, hooked. I went to his page. I went to his Facebook, sent him a friend request. He accepted it. I was on all his pages, liking all his pictures. Mad thirsty. And I'm and I'm not even like that. But mad thirsty, liking all his pictures. So we talked on the phone or whatever like that. He said he was going to take me out to eat, take me out to dinner, and then he joked around and said that then maybe he could give me a massage afterwards. So I'm laughing or whatever like that. But really, see, I'm the type of female where I'm going to say what other females won't say. And I'm going to do what I want to do because I'm grown at the end of the day. And this guy was just so fine to me that I'm not going to lie and sit here and say other things wasn't going through my mind. So we finally made a date to go out to dinner and a movie, right? So he wound up in the studio to almost like 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock. And it was like a weekday. So the movies wasn't open no more and the restaurants was closing. So he was like, all right, I'm sorry that I'm late or whatever like that, but you either got two choices. You want to just make a date for another day, or would you just like your massage and I book a night at the hotel? Now, I sat there on the phone because first of all, I couldn't believe he said that. But this is where I had to be real with myself. And I know myself. And I'm like, Lachey, you don't know when the next time you're going to see this guy. You don't know when the next time you're going to talk to this guy. He's always busy. And I've been thinking the same way he been thinking. And I've never had a one-night stand before. So I'm 21, 22. I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm going to do this because I want this guy anyways. Like, this man is beautiful. Like, I've been talking to him for too long. I haven't been able to see him. So I told him, I take the massage in the hotel. So he pays for my cab He pays my cab to come to the hotel. And he comes over to the cab. First of all, he has mad jewelry on. He has these dimples. He looked finer than when I saw him when he was 16. When I was 16. No, so I had to be like 20 or 19. Yeah, I was 19 at this time. Finer than how I saw him when I was 16. And he just had this leather and all this jewelry and these temples and his hazel eyes and these just juicy lips. Just, oh my God, almost melted when he opened the cab door. So he opened the cab door. He gives the guy the money. He reaches his hand out. He's very gentlemanlike. He helps me out the cab, but he has bought like a bottle of Moet or something like that. And he has security with him. So he has security with him. So I'm like, oh my God, this guy's really like somebody got security following him and stuff like that. So we went to the room. Oh, I'm walking up the stairs. He looks at me and he says, your pictures on Facebook don't do you no justice. So I go, I'm blushing. Crazy, blushing, OD crazy. And we go up to the hotel room or whatever like that. I sit on the other side of the bed. He sits on the other side of the bed, and when he's talking to me, I can't look at him directly because I was so shy. I was so in awe. He was beautiful. Like, and then we were drinking, so I got a little bit more comfortable. And he was like, why are you not looking at me when you talk to me? Why you don't look me in my eyes? Why are you looking at the mirror talking to me? And I was just like, guys like that make me nervous. Like, because I'm usually aggressive. So guys like that make me very nervous. So, so he came and sat next to me, and, you know, he was talking to me. And we drank or he took off his shirt. First of all, he took off his shirt, and I got a weakness for six packs. And on top of that, how you gonna have a six pack? You gonna have the tattoo? You got the tattoo on your neck? Cause he's a hood. He's a hood guy. Like, he's been in jail a couple of times, but he took his shirt off, and his lips and his dimples and his skin complexion and his bright hazel eyes. I melted. I mean, that's the end of the story, y'all, because, you know, we got crazy. We got crazy that night. And it wasn't a one night stand. He wound up being my boyfriend. After that, he was calling me every day. I was coming to see him. I was coming to spend the night at his house. He said he wanted to marry me, all this type of crazy stuff. So it didn't end up being a one night stand. We ended up actually really like being together, like boyfriend and girlfriend and stuff like that. But whew, that was just a story of how when I met this little rapper that I dated. But I'm going to be having more stories, you guys. So again, if you liked my story, comment, subscribe, share. I'm gonna have a lot more. I'm gonna have a little bit more spicy stories. I'm gonna do some pranks in here and things, but there's more to come. Bye, guys.